Hi, it's Paul from Hurricaneforex.com, and I'm going to talk through the indicator. It's had a few updates, including the ability to see when pullbacks are happening in trends, and you can see the direction of the market. You can see when to enter and when not to enter, when to close your trades, what targets to set, where your stop is. Everything's in here, so I'm going to explain how to do it because it's not as complex as it looks. I know some people like plain chart trading, but frankly I prefer the easy way, and that's this. So let's start off with the fact that you get signals, and they're really useful, and they pop up and tell you whether or not, when you've got a signal and when there's a breakout, which, you know, for instance here you probably get a breakout signal just here, and you know, then you can examine the signals and go, yeah, I want to trade now. So something before I start, I noticed that the best signals come between 6 and 8 in the morning UK time, so that's GMT. That's normally around market open, and then sometimes in 1:30 and 3 o'clock GMT, depending on the time zone and what daylight savings time is doing, sadly. But if you look on this chart, look at about 6 o'clock in the morning, which is about here. There's one, there's another one there, there's another one there, and of course this, I will say that this is a different broker that's not in UK time. You see that they closed off at 5 o'clock, so their timing's slightly different. So I think it works at about 3 o'clock. So there's one there at 3 o'clock, there's another one there at 3 o'clock, there's another one here in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. That was a bit of a late one. There's another one here. You see it's a bit out of time, that one, but generally if you're in a trend, that's where we can look at and bear that in mind. It's not always true, and especially if you're changing markets, changing direction, as you can see here. We had a market change direction, and you can see what happens is the white line and the gold blue line. Firstly, the blue line will go blue. Secondly, you see the white line move towards this other line here. That's a 200-100 period Hurricaine moving average, which is something I kind of invented by mixing moving averages with Hurricaine candles. But it's quite accurate in working out. You can see where the market's going, and when the price crosses over these lines, it normally means it's changing direction and moving into a new direction. Okay, so on this chart, for instance, let's just go through start going through these cells. So loads of congestion. You can see we don't know where we're going really, and then there's a breakdown through here, through the middle of there. You can trade that if you want to. And then it goes into congestion again, and then it finishes. So our first target on that trade would be here. We'd set a trailing stop. So the first target is here. Sorry, set a trailing stop of that distance there. So if I just measure that, you see how a cheaper trade this is. A very cheap trade. So like a 40 pip trailing stop. The target would be 90 pips. I like the hourly chart, but I do check other time frames to confirm. So our first trade is here to there, and then you can see what happens is that it gets down to here, and you can see how this blue line, which we call the pullback line, okay, you can see how the market, you get a buy signal just there, you get a buy signal here, okay, but of course we're in a downtrend now, so we don't want to be entering buys, and that tells us from our first trade. So we close our first trade here, or we can stay in it because our target's not far away, and then we enter a second trade here. First target is here, second target is here, and our trailing stop is that distance, and then our stop is just above here. See how cheap the trades are? You don't have to have much of a stop on it. And then so we'd actually hit our second target very easily, straight through, and then you get a buy signal, and you can see how we stay out of it because we're in a downtrend, and we wait for the sell signal. Here comes the sell signal, stick your stop in, okay, and you'll see how it pulls back a little bit, and then we have our first target and then our second target. The target, you want to be just above it because they tend not to actually hit the fibs exactly. They did there actually, and they did there, but sometimes, especially if the market's starting to turn around, they won't hit the fibs exactly, so you take profit. Or if you see this buy signal, then it's time to close the trade. Alright, so don't stay in it. Then you've got another trade here with a sell signal, and then you've got a buy signal on this candle, and you go close the trade, get out of it, and you see how it powers up. Alright, then you know you're going to be going into a bullish market. Okay, it's just taking its time. Now there was some news coming, so that means that we don't want to be trading there, but we wait, and so we wait until this sell signal kicks in, and then we don't know where the market's going. But you should know by looking at fundamentals. You must include fundamentals in your trading, and one of the ways you can do that is by joining forexsignals.com. And if you go to my website hurricaneforex.com, there's a link through where you can learn all about that, and they will give you the fundamental information you need to really power your trading. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. So the next chart I'm going to look at, I'm just going to go through charts. That's all I'm going to do is this one, and you can see you can see how the market changed direction, and that normally is what kills people. So there are loads of trades. So let's go through the bullish trade. There's a little bullish trade at the end here. It pulls up to here. Now here's the pullback there, and you can see the pullback line is really accurate. When it hits off that pullback, you're in buys because the gold line is below the white line. With these big gold stepping lines, their dailies are actually below it, so you can see everything's in bullish, so you're only taking buys. And you've got this pullback, so you stay out of it for the sell. You close your buy if it's in still. There's your buy signal, there's your sell signal. So you take that short trade up there, take the profit out, close it because you've got a sell signal, and it goes into a pullback that doesn't really happen. Then you wake up the next morning, but we're not taking trades till about 3 a.m. I'm looking at. There's been a buy signal overnight, and you know it's got to make up that hole that it left. So you could take the buy and then close it at the sell, and so you'll actually be okay. Even if you got the trades wrong, you'd actually still make money out of it. So here's the second one. You can see what looks like a pullback in a buy market actually goes really interesting. So there's a sell there. Here's your buy, and you would stop out on this trade because you still think you're in a bull market. The only hint that you're not is you see how that went straight there, and you see how now the white line, the white Hekanashi moving average, is going down and moving towards the gold line, the blue line, which has gone blue, which is a sell. That means we're going into a downtrend. Okay, so you can see immediately that firstly there's two hints of this. Firstly, back here you can see how the market stopped making progress and stopped going up, and then you can see how the stagnation below, so you'd only be taking buys at this point, and then you've got to look at it and go, I don't like the way that stopped powering anywhere, it's getting stuck. And then we hit this bearish move here, and now we're in sell trade, so we take an entry on that one for a sell. You can reverse that, so if you were in a buy up here, if you took that buy and it stopped out, just reverse it, because the chances are you're going into a sell. Take the sell. It trades right across these two lines. See how it bounces accurately off this fib level up into here, pulls back. That's your pullback line. It's actually matching that Hekanashi moving average there, and then we're into the next sell. Okay, so here's your sell. First target is here, second target is trailing stop is that distance, stop just above it, and it just goes straight to your target. Basically, don't wait around. And then there's a pullback because now we're in a sell trade. Look how these gold lines have moved above. Now we're in a sell trend, so we're not taking any buys at that point. If you're still in the sell, you close it. And here's our sell. Breaks out through the pullback line. So what you've got is a perfect trade down, pullback, and then we can take our second sell. Okay. Now if you're a longer term trader, you might want to just stay in it, just hold it. But I wouldn't bother doing that. You don't need to with this. So here's your entry on that candle. And don't forget you get alerts when it ever makes one of these little things. You get an alert, and if it says break next to it, it means it's broken through. So it does actually pull back. So your stop is up here. It pulls back, and then it just goes straight to the first target's the white line, second target's the gold line, hits the gold line, goes into a pullback. Now it's Friday, so now remember, I don't trade more than, I start trading early in the morning on Friday, and once I've done my first trade, I'm out of it. I probably will be out by lunchtime. I don't do any more trading Friday. And you can see actually what's happening here. It's all sitting around and doing nothing. So we don't want to be touching that on a Friday. Let's pick another chart. I'm just going to go through a few charts with you. So let's take, this is a beautiful downtrend. Look at this. So you could just keep taking trades. You could actually just add to your trades if you wanted a downtrend like this. So first entry up the top, then take a sell. First target here, second target here. And it does it. It then recognises the pullback. So we've gone, actually I'm in a pullback there. There's your close trade signal. You could close that trade, or you could just add another trade. Okay, here, first target here, second target here. You see how accurate my fib levels are. Alright, they're not standard fib levels. Don't think they are. If you try and draw fib levels on there, they're probably not going to match. And you can see how you trade it down to here. So actually, in this case, it actually achieves the first and the second targets. And then what does it do? It pulls back halfway, in fact, of that move down. Wait for the sell signal. There's the sell signal. It breaks out. First target, second target. Remember to set your trailing stop is that distance, and so the trailing stop will actually follow it down. It'll stop you out in profit, or it'll just hit your take profit, which should be slightly above that line. Pulls back into this area. It's just like clockwork all the way down. This you just be taking trade after trade all the way down. Okay, but the biggest killer of traders is when a market changes direction. But with this software you can see that happening. Okay, so again you've got these buy trades going on, and look at this madness here. Alright, so where are we going? We're in a downtrend, and you can see this is what happens when a market changes direction. So although the software is going, you can see there's lots of blue and gold there. There's general confusion about what's going on here. I would imagine there was some news going on. In fact, that's a Thursday. So on the Friday, the news probably clicked out. I should think it's something like non-farm payrolls or something. So first thing in the morning, in fact, no, 3 to 6 a.m. on this chart, but 6 to 8 in sterling in UK time, we got this buy signal. Okay, now I would look at that and I probably wouldn't take it, because I just go, I don't want to take anything in this because it's so confusing, and that's probably because of something like non-farm payrolls or something. But there, it does achieve its target. First trade, second trade there. Now we think we're in an uptrend. You see how the lines are moving together with the gold? Then we get this confusion again. Okay, but there's no signals going on there, so it's quite clean. Then there's a buy signal. So I'd be quite happy because I've had a big buy in. Then it's pulled back, and here's my second buy. First target, second target doesn't really achieve it, but you do get a reversal signal, so you close the trade. And immediately our software starts predicting. So you've got sell signals, you're looking to get a buy, first target. So what this would do if you took this trade is your trailing stop would stop you out in profit. Then you've got this sell signal, and what's interesting is you shouldn't really take a buy there, because look at that gold line. The gold line is above, and you can see also the market starting to change direction. Then we got this massive sell signal. I actually took this trade, and you take your sell, you get on that candle, first target, second target, it took that out. It actually took the third fib level out as well. It was a huge move on behalf of the dollar. Then you have an issue because it just gets into the congestion, so you might get some losing trades because you want to take another sell, but you have to know that it's going to pull back halfway, which it didn't, which means at some point it's going to have to pull back halfway. Again, you've got this congestion area, so we're still looking for sells because we're in a downtrend. So here's the congestion, there's the breakout there, straight down. It's a bit of a dodgy currency to take. However, you'll discover that actually you could have quite a big stop on it if you wanted to, because it looks like a big way down. But if we just measure, say, this candle here, it's only a 30 pip stop, so I'd say I'd go for a 40 pip stop or something and just hold it. It's a bit nerve-wracking. It's not a very nice trade to be in. Same here, look at this uptrend, very, very simple. Okay, we're in an uptrend. Start with the gold one, and the bottom, that's a daily, so that's saying that we're in an uptrend at that point. Okay, so where's my trade? Wait for here. Here's my buy signal. Look at this great big pin bar as well to back me up, and see how the lines are moving together. There's my first trade, there's my second trade, there's my third trade. It'll take profit on the third trade, and then blam, it went into this massive sell signal. So you can see how easy it is to identify trends, moving in trends. Now, you know, this is painful. Anybody trading this is really painful, but what you do is you would try, and if you got a sell on this and it reversed like this and you get a buy signal, just close the sell. Same thing here, close the sell. Same thing here, close the sell. You make a little bit of profit, and then if you take this one here, first target, second target, it actually went to the third target, which we don't take because it never normally goes that far. Bounces back. There's a sell signal here, probably would stop you out, although you've got a buy signal directly after it, so in fact you wouldn't be trading because that's the middle of the night. That's close of markets. You never trade at 10 o'clock at night, so you wouldn't be in that trade anyway. So you'd be looking for this signal, first target, second target, close on this close on that signal, or you closed because it hit your profit. Don't forget you've got a trailing stop so your trailing stop is the distance, so let's just do that. Set your trailing stop. Set your trailing stop. 25 pip, 30 pip trailing stop, pretty easily achieved. And then it will just follow it down anyway, so it would stop you out in profit. Because once you're that far over, you're that far over. And then you can see a market reversal going on Friday. Remember what I said about not trading on Fridays for more than, apart from the early morning. So I wouldn't be trading that on Friday anyway. However, it would have achieved the first target, so you'd be on a trailing stop by then. So through again, you can see these markets changing direction. Here's the rally up. Here's the breakdown through. So it goes through this area. You see the way that these two lines pull together. So we're actually in a big sell trend. It moved into a buy trend for a bit, and then it moved back into a sell trend, and you can see it really clearly. All you need to do is train yourself to see what this chart is telling you. Without all this information, you are basically looking at bear charts and trying to work out from bear charts. And there are people that do it, and I know that forexsignals.com teach you to do it from pin bars and things like that, but I think this gives you a lot more information and enables you to, you can clearly see here. So we're in a sell trend. There we go. Look how the market gets closer together. We stop getting these. You can see it changing direction. Here it stops moving in a trend at all. It just sits flat. If you took a sell there, you'd be in profit because your first target's there. So you would have your trading stop on probably, but you just break even. And then you've got this buy signal out of here, and it actually plows through there. You might see this buy signal and hold fire and see what it does. It does a big breakout there. You take your buy entry, hold your buy entry, first target here, second target here. It does actually achieve it on this candle. Then you get your sell signal anyway, so you close it out if it hasn't taken profit. So you just follow those rules. It's really simple. So first thing is you're looking at trend. First thing, what time of day is it is important but not essential. You're looking at taking your first on the signal. You aim for the second fib level above or below the signal, depending on which direction you're trading. You set your trailing stop to the first signal distance, and so your trailing stop will trail it up, and then you move into the next one. It's really that simple. It looks complicated, but it's not. I hope that's useful. The website is hurricaneforex.com. It's down there on the chart. You can rent this for free. You can do a demo of this for free and try it out for a couple of days or for a week. See how you go on. But you'll find it's much easier than trying to be sitting there staring at charts and waiting for signals. So run it on the hourly chart, and then but you can actually switch charts, so you can use other charts to confirm. Obviously different time zones. So for instance here, but I would stick to the hourly chart because that's what it's designed to run on. I've been doing pretty well with this. I've just qualified for a prop trading account, and I'm in the second phase of qualification for the prop trading account, and I'm well on the way to do it in about 5 days, and I've got to do it in 20, so that's going to be amusing. So I might need to slow down the amount of trades I do. Another hint is that if you get lots and lots of signals at the same time, they're very reliable signals. I can tell you that for nothing. That means that the market is going to move in a big way, and we do get them sometimes where it just goes ding 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 ding. It's normally around one currency, so like the sterling, Aussie, sterling, dollar, sterling, and you see they're all going the same direction. Just go for it, because those are pretty surefire trades. Anyway, thanks very much. Hurricaneforex.com. Have a great day.